They want messages to be brought to the attention of everyone. It's meant for whenever this is going to air and for whatever is going on. It is a whole different level of communication. Not to concern yourselves with the possibility of what will occur with the boiling over of multitude of conditions that are taking place across the different hemispheres upon your planet. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jeannette, for your unlimited connections.
May you continue to expand infinitely.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. I'd like to welcome back to the show medium and amazing spirit communicator, Jeannette. Welcome back, Jeannette.
Hey, Michelle, thanks for having me back. I'm already laughing. I haven't even started.
I know, right? When we come to the interview and go, what are we doing again? What's happening?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice that it's a one area that you don't have to plan it, stick it in a calendar, check it, send out emails to make sure that people are going to be there. It really is not about me. I am just connecting, and they're the ones that are orchestrating what is the viable information that should be coming through, or the harmony that should be coming through, or the vibration. I think they also take into account all of the factors of how exhausted is Michelle? Does Jeannette really have any energy left for this? Is she still fighting with somebody and is really just pissed off in her human body right now? Is she going to be able to handle this? So it is kind of nice to just like put all that, and not that it's like put on them, but I think from the very beginning, it does take a little bit of courage to say, okay, because I never do this. I'm such a control freak, all right, I'm just going to kind of like relax and have at it. You know what I mean? And see what comes through and be one with that and learn from that, and then listen to the recording to see what
happened.
Because I will tell you, it's a little bit the way I describe it for me. And it depends. It's kind of like you're falling asleep and you're like completely asleep, or maybe you heard a doorbell, but it was part of your dream. That to me is like a trance state, or the channeling one, where to me it's like I'm at a dinner party and I'm speaking with you here, and over in that corner somebody says, "'Cause Jeannette," da, da, da. My attention immediately going to be like, "Wait, what? What was that?" So with the channeling, I'll hear that, and sometimes I'll hear things. So I'll be like, oh, no, you can't say that anymore in our world. What's happening there? And then I kind of like fade back into the background with a little bit of that worry, and I don't know where I go. And so when I do come back, if somebody will start talking about it, I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, I remember that. What happened there? I remember once I was doing, for a young guy, a trance. I think somebody calls it evidential trance. I didn't know what that was. And it's, you go into a trance and basically they're giving evidence to that person. But anyway, point being, the individual that was coming through had been like a sergeant or something in the armed forces. And I remember hearing, you need to sign up. I was appalled. I'm like, oh my God. I was just like dumbfounded. How could, and then when I came back, I did remember this guy talking to the kids saying, sign up, go into the military or whatever. Who does that?
Yeah.
And the kid's all excited, and I'm really concerned. Seriously, I mean, I'm laughing, but it wasn't funny. And he's like, "Hey, you're not going to believe it. but I have papers to sign up and go into the military. And, this isn't like the honor back in the World War I and II. I'm doing this for my country. I mean, there are a lot of people that are still like that, and God bless them. But I think the majority of, 25 to 30-year-olds aren't really thinking that way unless they come from an honorable military family. But I was just like, and he said that, I'm like, oh, okay. So he goes, yeah. So it just kind of reinforced all of that for me. And I was like, okay, well, good luck with that.
Exactly.
I'm not
Wow.
responsible. That's your choice. Make sure that that's your choice, because then it gets a little bit into, I mean, there's a fine line between just being that conduit, that connection, and they're going to say what they're going to say to that person. And, I mean, you don't get angry at your phone if the person on the line, chewed you out or had an argument with you. It's that person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's those people that you need to take it up with, and you don't have to do what they're telling you to do. But my experience has been that usually in those trances with people, they've come back and they said, wow, I was really in that place. They'll call me months later. Yeah, and I'll be like, well, God, I really appreciate that, because I'm like, you don't get a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Because and it's usually very intimate. People are stuck in some kind of life situation and they go on. So with this here, where it's just like an open channel, where they're going to bring in, like I said, infinite, unlimited, whatever it is that they want to bring, and so be it. My condition to them is that it's always filled with light, and it comes from a place of universal love for everyone.
Yeah.
Equal. That the message come from source in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have a few, do we say, beings, spirits that can show up?
Like I think it's because I'm so open. A lot of people at the beginning, I remember hearing, oh, because my spirit guide, this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have one. I think I'm an orphan, whatever. No, but I knew that there had to be some energy source guiding me. And when finally they did come through, the first one was it was an alien, and what they said was, and it was like in a class that we were practicing, and somebody asked, well, what's your name? And they said, we don't go by names, and we are a collective of voices, and you're hearing the one. We don't need a name. We named, and at the beginning, my daughter, who would kind of listen at my door a little freaked out, called the first one Baby Yoda, because it was like a softer type, easier. It was interesting because I think, it's like baby steps, right? So when I first started, it was like an easy, very friendly, and then when the alien came in, the alien collective, they're much stronger. They're very much more in your face. They're very powerful. Like my daughter says, man, it sounds like they're upset, or because they're very forceful with the message they want to get across. And so we just decided to call them Bob, because you know what I mean? Bob the Builder. Bob immediately think, yeah, happy, easygoing guy. Let's kind of just bring it down to a friendly place that we can relate to that. And then I've had an angel of passing. The angel in the last taping that you did with me was not the angel of passing. I don't know. And people will say, oh, I get archangel this and archangel that. I'm like, how many archangels are there? No, they don't feel like it's important or necessary for me to know who they are. Except for like the angel of passing. But that's all she did. And that's pretty cryptic. You know what I mean? That's a cryptic.
Yeah.
Angel of passing. Well, that's like me saying I'm a female.
Yeah.
That tells me nothing. But I don't really get hung up on it, Michelle. I kind of just sit back, like I said, and I said, okay, I'm here to be open as long as it's a positive, and I can always feel that it's a good energy. And when I finish, I'm usually more energized than when I started. So if it feels good, it's coming from a good source.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of, like I said, this is the one place in my life where I'm like, I'm not in charge. I'm not planning. I'm not making any list. I'm not wondering who's going to be on what day, who could listen. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
I just relax into it and let the flow happen.
Yeah, total surrender.
Wild, huh? I know.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
unlike, yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is as you go into trance, obviously I'm going to cut that bit out because there'll be silence. And for listeners, it's just going to be a whole bunch of no noise. For the viewers, it's like watching someone meditate, not much going on there. And then I'll bring the recording back in once your team, Spirit World, start speaking through you. And and enlighten us with their messages.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Awesome.
Who's behind the door tonight?
I know. I'm sure they had children's shows like that.
Or the
Who's
veil,
behind
right?
doors? Yeah. Or was it romance shows or love shows or something anyway?
The dating game.
Yeah.
Way back. They had a show like that, I think, in the 60s. And I think they did a movie of it not that long ago.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see who's behind the door. I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thank you. We are that we are. From far, near, to you we come. We are grateful for this opportunity given to us once more after somewhat of an absence. The conditions presently there upon your earth are as a tea kettle that is beginning to boil. Many would wish to set it back to a slight simmer, and yet there is a point when the temperature of a particular situation rises where it can no longer be avoided and it reaches the boiling point, therefore creating a bubbling effect upon the surface of the water. And this can no longer be contained, and it then does expand into a much greater area. But our greater message here this evening is not to concern yourselves with the possibility of what will occur with the boiling over of multitude of conditions that are taking place across the different hemispheres upon your planet, those due to man and those that are evolving from natural sources, from underneath your waters to coming from other solar systems, from rays of the sun and planetary positionings. Our message is to explain that even though the boiling point is reached, and yes, there will be overflow, causing disruption and moments of chaos, once this has taken place, you all can then imagine this scenario with the boiling of the water. What takes place is then that water atoms within begin to relax. It is taken off of the heat. And there is a lowering of the level that was there before. And once again, there is a balance. Once again, there is homeostasis. So we ask that your focus be not only in these times in which you are living, but if you can imagine projecting yourselves into a future scenario where you can see positive outcomes of your earth terrain, of the way things function within your world, religiously, politically, educational systems, and see that you are in the age of Aquarius. And there are multitudes of systems and energies coming together to assist in bringing about what is constantly being referred to as the new earth. And it is new only in the sense that those within it are reactivating themselves into also a state of homeostasis and a balance. For each one of you individually, we say that between this point, as we say in the present, and that is coming to the future, to maintain your balance, find those things that make you feel as if you are actively involved in something, that you have control over your well-being, over your life, over your family, your terrain in which you live, and find vibrations, find octaves that bring you joy, that bring you peace. Reconnect to your creative centers that many have gone dormant due to your consistent pressures and anxieties of producing to eliminate and producing more to only eliminate. Break away from these habits that are nonsensical and that do not serve you. Look within yourselves, within your anatomy, and serve that in a higher level so that the functioning of the vessel is more aligned with what is needed to maintain a level consistent with a healthy body and anatomy, where that feeds into your soul, feeds into your creativity, and into your balance and your joy. Look to one another, supporting one another whenever it is possible, for unfortunately, this is not always the case. Look to the young babes that are being born with great patience, for there will be differences that will be seen in the coming years, that will be evident in behavioral aspects and in learning curves and acquisition of motor skills, languages, understanding conceptualizing, and problem solving. Know that it is not to label them one thing or another, for that would only produce a group of children with tremendous anxiety, for then you will be wanting them to perform for you. For the ego is great in the human. These are gifts that are being born into your world that are far enlightened. They will be the teachers of those who raise them. And those who raise them will understand with time that they are part of what will be a new renaissance upon your earth. The garden there is but full of seeds that are beginning to sprout and grow. Soon, there will be multitudes of buds waiting to open. In technology, in outer space communities, in abilities for a body to do things that were thought of to be impossible with matter. And so you see that although many of the information being devised for you to feed upon are poisonous, some of it is necessary. Some of the true wars, changes, and explosions of Earth itself are necessary for the foundations to be changed, to be made more solid, so that upon it can be built what is to come. Most of these things, including, yes, visitors from different dimensions and different galaxies and nebulas, those will come to assist the advancement, the flourishing of those buds known as mankind. Patience is necessary. Joy must be fundamental. Creative outflows, planning, also part of what will keep you all through this period that is not coming. It is presently taking place. Each event prepares this world for the next and the next until there is a point when it is clear that the majority of the retraining and the learning has taken place. It is happening. Communities in other worlds when the days of these things take place, you will be prepared. For there are so many speaking of the same things, it will be somewhat repetitious for you when it actually takes place. There will be many things prior, and many things have already occurred but have been hidden. And those things hidden are soon to come to light. And with that greater understanding, many questions were unanswered will be given light. Be in grace. Be at a state of peace. Care for yourselves and those around you. And know that all things are coming as they should. Alterations being made when necessary. And it is moving quickly, rapidly. To a world of balance. A world with great communications. For all of you have these abilities. That will also be made known to you. And again, those that are now being born will be born into this knowing. They will not have to be retrained, for we recognize that is very difficult when minds have been set to a particular mold. It is nearly impossible to change what was already molded for so long. But they too will see. May the light always be with you, guiding your way. We thank you. And ask if there are questions you would put to us before departing.
Is it necessary for not just the spiritual people of the earth, but those that may be wondering or questioning to start their journey perhaps a little quicker, to start taking their spiritual journey more seriously to help this ascension, so to speak, this relearning to occur perhaps quicker? Or is it just purely based on the timing and the balance?
This is indeed a question that we have heard. And the answer is that within each individual there upon your earth, there are multiple variables and factors that run within their daily lives, pressures and needs that must be met. The speed at which one opens to these things, for I do not wish to use the word evolve, depends on the availability, the intonation of that vessel. When it is ready to accept the information that is coming in, it will be given and new space will be made available for the next new information to come through. No two of you are the same. And likewise, those who are coming in multitudes to connect, to talk, to answer questions are also vastly different forms of light and energy. It is a vast spectrum, never ending. And each one is paired finely with the individual. And how one melds into the vessel without being rejected, without doing harm, in order to state a message or bring dreams or enlighten them in some way. To understand, it is dependent on each individual. And each individual changes from one day to the next. So perhaps the message that was not able to be delivered on this day may be delivered on the following. It is an acquiring of knowledge, of knowing those that we work with. There is a vibration that we sense when we come through. And then there is the acquisition of the vessel, of the anatomical parts necessary. It is best to wait until they are ready for the next lesson than to bombard them with too much and then not have it be available at all, for we flooded the system. Almost as if you flood an electrical circuit within your household, your domain, and it all stops. Time also is irrelevant in this. These things are occurring the way they are to unfold. And the unfolding can change depending on different circumstances that have or have not taken place. Something else?
That is all. Thank you.
We are grateful for the opportunity always. Thank you.
Welcome back. That was powerful.
What a party.
Yeah. Very empowering and very, I want to say quite forthright. That was, I always feel like if I could, create a being in my imagination, it would be like a council leader of a galaxy or something. Like someone very high up, knowledgeable, that sort of, I'm here to tell you. And I love the predictions in that. Oh, I did take notes.
You were taping. So, like my daughter will tell me, Mom, it just like, I don't know if she used the word like sounds so aggressive or so, and I'm like, well, I have no idea. I mean, how do you censor these things? But I mean, was it like past the point of no return or, I mean,
no, it was.
Oh no. Oh, you paused. Oh no.
No, it was almost like, I'm going to say, if God speaks, you listen. Do you know what I mean? It was that kind of, I'm here to tell you something very important. And you're like, oh, and you can feel I want to say the seriousness or the power in the voice, as in this empowering, I'll say intense, but I don't mean intense in a negative. I mean intense as in, I'm here to share my wisdom with you. And when someone says that with such, I don't know, the best word I can use is intensity. You listen, you pay attention, you sit up. Like I even noticed I was like, oh, very leaning very forward. Like I had to, have my sit up straight, pay attention. But I was leaning forward like I really need to hear this. And yeah. And now I'm just like wondering, I can't wait till my new granddaughter starts talking, because the new children of the have already been taught, and we're relearning, and I want to know what she knows.
That's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I think we had a conversation where a couple, like you had somebody in your family been born, and then my cousin's daughter just had, and that baby came out like eyes open.
Yeah.
She was like focusing, I remember my kid was like,
yeah,
why am I here? Can I go to sleep now? Where's my bottle?
Exactly. The new babies are switched on. Really,
it's a cool time to be alive. I mean, I hear these back, but I hear what Brianna's saying, because I mean, like the angels they're very chill and relaxed. Like I said, it's like a bottle of wine in a jacuzzi. Like,
yeah.
well, the world's ending. Okay.
Yeah. It'd be like sitting, again, like I said, like a galactic councilman, and you're sitting in the crowd and they're addressing the universe. You listen. It's important. That's how it felt. Like you've been invited to this exclusive interview or this exclusive speech. You do not want to miss it. Pay attention. That's how it felt. And it was, like I said, there was a lot in there about focusing on the future, what's happening, what's coming in the future, what's already being put into place, and how it's all going to unfold. Because, of course, my question is, me, I'm just like, let's get to the finish line now. And how fast can we get there?
Yeah, I know. Our journey together, and I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But I mean, I learned that, because when life just kind of blows up, and you're like, wow, I really have no control. I don't know who I was kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, my question is, how can we speed this up? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do? You know, how can we quicken the process? But no, there's no quickening. But there's an unfoldment. But I mean, still, regardless, I'm just going to throw this out there to the people of the world, the listeners and viewers. If you're even interested in spirituality or just diving deeper into all of this, do it now. Do it today. I'm not trying to speed it up, but hurry up. All right. Just get on to it.
Yeah. I know like the first time this group came through, I think I've said this, it blew my mind. I mean, I was discombobbled. I was totally like, it was around Halloween, which is so fitting, October of 23. So here we are 2 years later. And the prediction on that, when I heard it back, and that was an hour trance. And back then, you can only do trance for half an hour. It takes 10 years before. And I'm thinking, are you serious? So you're talking about all this spiritual stuff and you've got limits on it. I remember I signed up for a couple of classes that I just said, well, I just lost my money because I just refuse to listen to this. Who are they to actually know it all? That's your first. But that one, I was like, what? And then things have happened. And then they asked me to take this tape to my family. I'm like, awesome. Just she's totally lost it now, because they all needed to know. And I'm like, what? I had one cousin of mine like, out of all the things you could do, you have modeled, you've sung in a band, you've written, why this? Why do you have to do this? Be protective, and I'm like, it just kind of happened. And I'm kind of like, I wasn't going to go back to doing therapy. And it's super cool and interesting. There's always something else, out of body experiences, vortexes. I mean, it's just like never ending.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you can give predictions and have, like I said, what seemed like or felt like, I mean, again, viewers and listeners, put in the comments what you think. A galactic councilman or member come through and speak through you and communicate.
When I settled with that stuff, and I've seen a lot of things take place in the last 2 years, I've thought, because I don't like prediction. Like my daughter's helping me with my social media, and she's like, "Mom, you're gonna predict." I'm like, no. Because I think when predictions are made, you're thinking this is going to happen, even in life right now. Like I think tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go for a walk, and I wake up and it's pouring. Guess what? That prediction's off. I think what this is more like, let me kind of give you guys a heads up of what could be happening, of what we see is going to happen sooner or later. This is some of the things you can expect. And I'm sure that there's a whole lot that we're not hearing about because we're not in a place to be able to handle it. Right?
Yeah.
I have an uncle. He's one of the last of the generations that used to do seances with my grandfather. And I don't know, it was at some point where, one country was blowing up another and we were all like, oh my God. And he goes, what are you guys worried about? Your spirit's going to go on and whatever, regardless of what happens. I'm like, because this is a body still, this is hair. It hurts if you pull it. This is still a body. And you were all looking at him like, what do you mean? What are we worried about? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, doesn't matter. So no importa. Your spirit lives on. I'm like, yeah, well, that doesn't make anybody feel better right now. Nobody, that's not going to make any of us feel any better right now. No, I mean, philosophically, logically, I understand, I get it, but no, we're all freaking out. So that's the reality,
Yeah. But there you go, one person's reality to another's perspective.
Yeah, but I mean, he's in his 80s. I mean, he's so, yeah, but I think even then, when you come to the end of this vessel and your time is there, it's still even with all the faith and all the seances that he went through and all the family members that have come through talking to him in spirit, um, it's still a moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of like, so kind of like what we were saying, I thought I was going to run tomorrow morning and it's raining. So I assume this is what it's going to be like. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
little different. Um,
Look,
but
exactly.
but the reports are over and over again that it's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's all pretty mind blowing. I mean, people come through talking about colors and being everywhere at one time and blah 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 blah. I mean, the reports are there's enough substance in I think in case studies where I think if you've done your life half decently and you kind of took on the challenges that you set up for yourself, it's kind of like, to quote Michelle, it's all good. All good.
It is.
So,
It is. It's very interesting though, and look, realistically, for people out there who are listening, only good comes from stepping into this. I want to call it a spiritual arena, a positive energy, and again, like it was mentioned during your trance, if people can focus there, how much more we're going to advance quicker as, as one rather than an individual who's angry and, pushing people away. How much more we're going to, it really is, it's about coming together. It's unity, supporting each other. And I know everyone hears, oh, love, kumbaya, peace, man, hippies, whatever. But it is about learning to love yourself. When you can love yourself, then there's so much more room for others, and so much that, you've given to yourself, now you can give to others, because when you don't love yourself, your cup is empty.
there is nothing that fills a human cup and other than love. And I can tell you that from like when I mean, one of them was your friend, anyway, and she asked if I could try and bring her mom through. And she came through and then she came through in a trance. And so she was directly speaking with her daughter, thanking her for that cup. Love is almost just it doesn't encompass the emotion because I love you, bye. We say it, at least American. We say it so much but that strength, that power that I felt when her mom melded with me and was speaking to her and her, hugging her mom. I mean, it was like, blew my mind. There is no amount of money. There is no shiny car, no jewelry, nothing will ever fill you like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that it's like I said, the word has, I think, lost some of its strength along the way, but the emotion that it is meant to convey is just limitless. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, and you see this. Those pictures that you see, like in a natural disaster, where the fireman is carrying the kid, or somebody's saving a kitten, and everybody feels that pull because it's universal. Like, yeah, I'm risking myself. I'm not thinking of me. I'm out to help this person, even though I don't know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what I think humanity, I'm hoping, is aspiring to. In my
Yeah.
mind, as naive as I think I still am, I believe in fairies and magical stuff, whatever. But I'm thinking, yeah, we can
Yeah.
get there.
And it's those images and those stories that are so fulfilling and give people hope. Like you said, that's where humanity, you want to hope humanity's heading in that direction. And what a beautiful world that would be to live in. Now, some people are like, it's just, naive, blah, blah. Look at okay, keep looking over there, but we're going to keep looking over here because we like the view better over here. It's nice over here.
You know what happens there is that generates so much power that it kind of just builds on itself.
Yeah.
And flourishes.
Yeah.
Because it's so positive.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I say, let the positive vibes flow, man. Exactly.
Yeah. In and out, share them, get them back, take it. Yeah. It's all kind of like recirculating.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah. And embrace the newborns that are coming into the world because they'll be the ones that will show us the way.
Yeah.
They will. Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Jeannette, for delivering that message, communication, prediction, powerful message of hope and inspiration. That was incredible. Like I said, I took notes and I'm just, oh man, when you spoke about the new generation, the new children being born, I'm just thinking, like you said, that conversation that we had in group where someone else had grandchildren being born, et cetera. And it's like, oh, I can't wait till my granddaughter starts talking. I so want to hear what comes out of her mouth.
Here's something for you. Maybe you don't have to wait.
So true.
I have a feeling, Michelle, that there's going to be a lot of psychic communication, mind, mental telepathy. That's right. That's what it's called. That happened to me once in my life, and it just I was like, what is happening right now? So, and it's happened like once or twice to me. So I know that it's there, that it is a possibility. And I think these kids are coming wired, like, the latest Apple phone.
The new version of human.
You know what I mean? Yes. So I think that there'll be, and if there is verbiage, it'll be very direct. We won't be fumbling around for how to find the right words. I mean, how many times have I said that in my life? Like, oh my God, what did they say? How do you say this? How do you put this to that person? I think I just talked about it a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like I had to tell my family, and listen, like, what do I say to them? It's just like, boom. And I think, so exciting. I think that now that could really backfire. Grandma, I want to go to Disney. Grandma, I want.
Exactly.
Like you take them to Target and they're not talking, but they're in your head. I want, give me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm joking. But I'm thinking with, and I don't know, man, again, but it'd be cool to see. I mean, kids are kids, and maybe those things won't excite them like the way they have, when you take a kid to a toy store and they just like go crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how that goes.
Let's just watch it all unfold, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jeannette. Where can people find you?
Well, my daughter's selling me now.
Oh, so glad that you've got an agent.
Sounds so wrong, Brie. And what's the other one? I don't know what else. eBay. I don't know. But I'm at Jeannette Connects. That's my
That's
webpage.
The safe one. That's the safe one.
But what she's doing, I said, from the beginning, I wanted to just be able to do this honestly and not charge anything. And the pushback I got was bad. And at this point, I'm like, I don't really care anymore. So the Craigslist and the whatever thing, go on the website, see what there is there. And there's some of your podcasts there, I think, on my webpage also, so they can kind of see, what I'm like and da-da-da. and and find a spot. My goal is just to be able to be utilized.
Yeah. To be of
100%.
service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not to say that I'm completely altruistic, because I got to tell you, the biggest high is when you finish with like that lady that I told you, that friend of yours, and you're like, wow, I was able to be part of that. It's just like,
yeah. Such a privilege, isn't it? Such a privilege. Yeah. Incredible.
it's an incredible feeling. So it's not like I'm an angel or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of us in this world needing guidance, needing help. So look it up, and if it isn't me, find somebody else, that you can relate to, and fill yourself with joy and get your passion back and get some direction, or be okay being lost for a while. I did that, and that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Jeannette. And I look forward to having you back on the show very, very soon.
Oh, my friend, thank you.
Thanks for joining me at the Medium's Table. The universe is always speaking. Listen and let your spirit soar. Curious for more? Click on one of the videos below and remember to subscribe.